Now going to question 16, to make sense of this question, we have to understand how the x-intercepts in this situation relate to the factors. Now that relationship is something that we refer to as the quadratic sequence. So let's just say you have a regular quadratic equation like this one here, and you have to find the x-intercepts. Now, first of all, the x-intercept means that y equals 0. When you have it equal to 0, that's your permission to factor. So when you factor this particular example that we made up, it would look like this. Then you have something called the zero product rule, which says that if two things multiply to 0, that could only have happened if one of them were 0. So you set each independent one equal to 0 and solve, and then you get your two answers. So what we're really saying is that if you have a factor of x minus 7 that relates to an x-intercept, a root, an x-intercept, a solution, or a 0, a lot of names for the same thing, but it's x equals 7. Or if you have a factor of x plus 5, the root, x-intercept, solution, or 0 is x equals minus 5. So in these easiest situations, there's kind of a flipping of the sign that happens as you go from your x-intercept back and forth with your factors. So coming over to this question now, we know that if we have x-intercepts at x equals -3 for this one, and for this one, x equals 1. We know that the factors that have to go along with those are going to be x plus 3 and x minus 1. So an advanced operation that you want to be really good at for the SAT would be to put a coefficient out in front, because we don't know if there's a coefficient or not typically, and set that equal to our equation, and then take some other point, let's say like this one right here, and plug that in. When x is -6, y is 0. The other way around, when x is 0, y is -6, and we can plug that combination in and solve for a. Now here, we don't actually need to do that because we're being told that the coefficient is 2. So if the coefficient is 2, we can kind of just say, oh, well, the number in front of the x squared is going to be 2, because if you were to FOIL this out, you would only get x squared with no coefficient, and then you can multiply in the a. So we know that this number is already 2 because it's kind of given to us. But like I said, that's a number that you can very easily solve for. So we have a 2 in that spot. And now to get the whole function, we can just go through our solving process. We can FOIL out here, first times first, outer times outer, inner times inner, last times last. Combine some like terms. Multiply back in the 2, distribute the 2. And now we have our full equation, 2x squared plus 4x minus 6. This is our a coefficient, ax squared plus bx plus c. So what's b times c? Well, b is 4 and c is -6. So b times c is -24, and that's our answer.